My dear friends, it is a profound honor to stand before you today. As I look out at this gathering, I don't just see a room full of people. I see a vast collection of stories, a rich tapestry woven with threads of laughter and tears, triumph and challenge, love and loss. Each one of you represents a legacy, a living testament to a life well lived, a journey marked by incredible moments and unwavering resilience. You have navigated decades of change, celebrated milestones, and overcome obstacles that others can only imagine. Your wisdom is a treasure. Your memories a library of experience, and your very presence here is an inspiration to us all. I am here to tell you that while you have experienced so much, the story is not over. In fact, some of the most beautiful and surprising chapters are still waiting to be written. The core of my message today is this: your life is not a series of random events, but a masterpiece being carefully crafted by a divine hand. Every twist and turn, every detour and delay, every moment of joy, and every season of sorrow has been intricately woven into a purpose far grander than you can see with your physical eye. You may look back and see seasons of struggle, questioning why certain paths were closed or certain prayers seem to go unanswered. But I want to propose a new perspective. What if those closed doors were not rejections, but divine safeguards, protecting you from a greater harm? What if those delays were not punishments, but sacred pauses, perfectly timed to prepare you for a blessing that would have otherwise overwhelmed you? God's perspective is not limited by our human understanding. He sees the beginning from the end, and He is orchestrating every detail of your life with perfect precision. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Your life is a living, breathing testimony to God's faithfulness, and your age is not a sign of your story ending, but a symbol of its profound depth. It is a time when the wisdom you have accumulated, the love you have given, and the faith you have nurtured can come to fruition in ways you may have never expected. You are not meant to slow down and fade away. You are meant to rise up and shine even brighter, to share the light of your experience with a world that so desperately needs it. Your purpose has not expired. It has matured, and it is now ready to bear a harvest of incredible significance. The miracles you have been praying for, the breakthroughs you have been hoping for, are not just for your own benefit. They are part of a larger plan that will bless your children, your grandchildren, and everyone whose life you touch. Who brought you through your youth and sustained you through your middle years is the very same God who is active and powerful in your life today. He has not forgotten you. He has not left you behind. He is right here, right now, meticulously preparing the next miraculous moment in your story. In our fast-paced world, waiting is often seen as a burden, a sign of being forgotten or left behind. But for those of us who have lived long enough to understand the deeper rhythms of life, we know that waiting is often where the most significant work is done. I want to speak directly to anyone who feels like they are currently in God's waiting room. Perhaps you are waiting for a prayer to be answered, waiting for the healing of a loved one, or simply waiting for a sense of purpose to return. The silence you perceive as absence is, in reality, a sacred space of preparation, a workshop where God is meticulously crafting your next blessing. Think of it this way: a master sculptor doesn't just reveal a finished statue. They spend countless hours in the hidden studio, chipping away at stone, refining the details, and shaping the masterpiece in secret. The waiting room is your holy studio. It is in this quiet place that God is not only preparing the miracle for you, but He is also preparing you for the miracle. A blessing that comes too soon before your character and spirit are ready to carry it, can become a burden rather than a breakthrough. So, before God releases what your hands have longed for, He strengthens the heart that holds it. Don't despise the hidden seasons. Don't assume His silence means He's distant. Often, the greatest miracles are being performed in the quiet, unseen place. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Isaiah 40:31. Remember the story of Joseph, who spent years in a pit and then a prison, forgotten and discarded by men. He had a dream of greatness, yet he seemed to be moving in the opposite direction. But in that pit and in that prison, God was not punishing him. He was preparing him for a throne. The isolation was a divine school, teaching him resilience, faith, and humility. By the time he was called to stand before Pharaoh, he was not only ready to interpret a dream, but also to lead a nation through a famine. Your hidden seasons are not for nothing. Your quiet moments are not pointless. God is using every tear you have cried, and every moment you have waited to prepare you for something glorious. The miracle that is approaching isn't only about what is on its way, it's about who you are becoming in the process. God is not just granting your requests, He is transforming you from the inside out, making you stronger, more compassionate, and more spiritually attuned. He is turning your tears into seeds of faith, and your trials into a profound testimony. When the breakthrough finally arrives, you will be able to stand on the mountain of your miracle and look back with gratitude at the valley of waiting, because you will recognize that the valley was where you grew the most. Don't rush the process, my friends. Embrace the holy pause, because the miracle is being formed even now. As we grow older, it's easy to look back at our lives and measure our faith by the mountains we've already seen moved. But I want to challenge you to believe that the greatest expressions of your faith are not confined to your past. They are still possible in your present and essential for your future. The kind of faith I'm talking about is not a passive hope that things will get better. It is an active, unwavering conviction that God is who He says He is, and He will do what He has promised. This faith doesn't require you to be in the prime of your physical strength, but in the fullness of your spiritual wisdom, a wisdom you have gained through decades of walking with Him. I know that some of you have prayed for healing, for restoration, for provision, and the answer has not yet come in the way you expected. You may feel your faith has been tested, stretched thin under the weight of delay. But hear this, God doesn't demand a flawless faith, only a willing heart. He doesn't need you to have all the answers or to understand the entire plan. He simply needs you to trust the Maker. Think of the centurion who approached Jesus, a man of power and authority, but a man who humbly declared, "Lord, I am not worthy to have you come under my roof, but only speak the word, and my servant will be healed." His faith was not in his own ability or in his own worthiness. It was in the powerful authority of Jesus' word. And Jesus was amazed. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Hebrews 11:1. Your faith, no matter how small you think it is enough to move mountains. A small mustard seed of faith, when planted in the fertile ground of a trusting heart, can grow into a mighty tree of breakthrough. This is not about mustering up or human effort. It is about surrendering your fears, your anxieties, and your timelines to a God who is sovereign over all. The miracle you are standing for, whether it's for your own health, a wandering child, or a financial need, is not dependent on your striving. It is dependent on His power, and your faith is the key that unlocks it. So, I urge you, don't let yesterday's disappointments bury today's faith. Dust off those weary prayers. Breathe fresh hope into your soul. Gather every shattered promise you've carried and lay it once again upon the altar of God's faithfulness. Believe for the impossible, pray with a daring confidence, and speak life over the dry places in your life. The God we serve is not bound by routine or logic. He is the God of the sudden, the unexpected, and the supernatural. Your unwavering faith, born from a lifetime of experience, is the very force that is about to set your miracle in motion. As we journey through life, we often focus on the here and now, on our immediate needs and concerns. But a life well lived, especially as it matures, begins to see beyond the present moment and into the vastness of a legacy. I want to shift your perspective now and have you consider that the miracle God is preparing for you is not just for your own benefit, but it is the foundation of a legacy that will bless generations to come. Your life is a powerful story, and the final chapters are meant to be a beacon of hope and a testament to God's enduring love. Your legacy is not measured by your accomplishments or your possessions. It is measured by the character you have built, the love you have given, and the faith you have passed on. Your grandchildren don't just see a grandparent, they see a living, breathing history book, a story of survival, strength, and unwavering devotion. Your words of wisdom, your acts of kindness, and your steadfast prayer are shaping their destinies in ways you may not even realize. The miracle God is working in your life right now, whether it's a healing, a financial breakthrough, or a restored relationship, is not just a gift for you. It is a profound declaration to your family that God is real, that He is active, and that He is a good Father who hears and answers the cries of His people. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. Proverbs 13:22. Think about the impact of a single testimony. When you stand and say, God did this for me, you are not just sharing your story. You are planting a seed of faith in the hearts of others. You are giving them permission to believe for their own miracles. Your miracle is meant to flow through you, not to stop with you. It will be the spark that reignites the faith of a skeptical child, the proof that convinces a wayward grandchild to turn back home, and the inspiration that launches a new generation into their divine purpose. You are a bridge between the generations, and your faith is the sturdy structure that allows others to cross over from doubt to destiny. Don't ever think that your later years are a time to be passive or to retreat from the world. This is your season to become a mentor, a storyteller, a prayer warrior, and a living testament to God's goodness. You are the wellspring of wisdom that others can draw from, the steady hand that can guide the younger generation, and the voice that can speak life into dry places. The miracle you've been waiting for is not just for your comfort, it's for your calling. It's about your eternal significance and the powerful influence you are meant to have in God's kingdom. My friends, as we enter the later years of life, there is often a temptation to settle into a comfort zone, to believe that our days of great adventure and new beginnings are behind us. We may convince ourselves that we are too old to learn new things, too tired to start a new project, or too set in our ways to embark on a new calling. But I want to lovingly and firmly challenge that mindset today. The God we serve is a God of new beginnings, and spirit is not limited by our age or our preconceived notions. Your greatest adventures are not in the rearview mirror. They are waiting for you just ahead in a season of life that is ripe for new purpose and unexpected miracles. I believe with all my heart that God is preparing to pour out a special anointing on this generation, a renewed sense of purpose and a fire for the things of God that will make you feel younger and more vibrant than you have in years. He's not asking you to climb mountains or run marathons unless that is your calling. He's asking you to share the wisdom you've gained, to mentor the next generation, to volunteer your time, and to be a spiritual compass for a world that has lost its way. This is not about pushing you beyond your physical limits. It is about activating your spiritual and emotional strengths, strengths that have been refined and perfected over a lifetime. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am he who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. Isaiah 46:4. Think of a vintage wine, which only gets better with age. Your life is like that wine. It is now at a point of spiritual and emotional maturity that is priceless. Your experiences, your scars, your stories, these are all part of a beautiful vintage that has been prepared by God for a time such as this. You have a unique perspective that the younger generation desperately needs. You've seen seasons of economic hardship and seasons of prosperity. You've experienced times of peace and times of conflict. You've learned lessons of forgiveness and resilience that can't be taught in a textbook. Your wisdom is not just a luxury, it is a necessity. The miracle ahead of you may not be what you expect. It may not be a sudden financial windfall or a complete physical healing, although those things are absolutely possible. It may be a miracle of renewed purpose, a call to minister to others who are going through the same struggles you have overcome. It may be a divine connection with someone you are meant to mentor, or an opportunity to share your testimony on a platform you never imagined. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, my friends. God is not done with you yet. He is getting ready to breathe fresh life into your spirit and to give you a renewed sense of purpose and passion. The miracle is not only what you receive, but who you become in the process. Throughout your life, you have heard many words spoken over you, both good and bad. You have heard the opinions of man, the diagnoses of doctors, the pronouncements of financial institutions. But I am here to declare to you today that there is a final word that supersedes all others, a word spoken from the throne of grace that cannot be overridden by any force on earth or in hell. That word is God's promise, and He is the ultimate promise keeper. What He has declared, He will accomplish. What He has started, He will complete. And what He has promised, He will bring to pass. No demon, no delay, no disappointment can stand His way. God is not human that He should lie, not a human being that He should change His mind. Does He speak and then not act? Does He promise and not fulfill? Numbers 23:19. Some of you have been fighting battles in your body, receiving painful diagnoses, and hearing the doctors say, "There's nothing else we can do." But God always has the final word on your health. He is the great physician who formed you in your mother's womb and knows every detail of your being. When His hand touches you, healing flows like a mighty river. Don't you dare surrender to the verdict of man. Instead, lift up your hands in faith and declare, "My God has the final word on my healing." Others of you have been living in a season of financial dryness, doing everything you know to do, and yet there is still lack. But God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. The silver is His, the gold is His, and He is Jehovah Jireh, the Lord who supplies. He doesn't require a bank to bless you. He only needs your faith to access the miracle He already has in place. Being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. And for those of you who have shed tears over broken relationships, marriages that seem irreparable, and children who have wandered far from home, God has the final word on restoration. He is the restorer, the one who calls prodigals back home and transforms sorrow into dancing. Don't give up on the people you love. They are not beyond reach. They are being positioned for a divine moment, and your persistent prayers are paving the way for their return. My dear friends, what God has appointed for you cannot be intercepted. What He has spoken over your life will not be withdrawn. The very moment He said, "Let it be," the miracle began forming beyond the realm of sight. Now, right now, it is taking shape in the natural world. Well, don't allow your current struggle to blind you to the divine surprise God is putting together. The miracle will arrive suddenly, without notice, without warning. And when it comes, you will know it was not from man. It wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was the hand of God stepping into your story and making a way where there had been no way. And when others ask, "How did it happen?" all you will be able to say is, "The Lord did this. He made a way. He came through." The miracle is at the threshold. You are on the verge of a moment that will change everything so swiftly and so divinely that you won't even have time to explain it before you're already living inside the very prayer you once whispered. That's how God works. He is not restricted by routine, tradition, or odds. He overrides the natural with the supernatural. One divine decree can dismantle decades of delay. One exhale from heaven can convert years of waiting into moments of fulfillment. That's the essence of the miracle that is being birthed. It will invade what seemed immovable and proclaim, "The Lord has brought it to pass." You don't need to figure out the method. You simply need to trust the Maker. I ask you now, with every burning sense of urgency in my spirit, are you truly ready for the miracle God is preparing for your life? Not just with your words or a casual amen, but with a heart fully surrendered, fully expectant, and wide open. Are you willing to lay aside your fears, your past regrets, your doubts, and all your human logic to lift your eyes toward the hills from where your help truly comes? Are you ready to stop merely existing and start truly believing? Because the same God who spoke galaxies into motion is standing at the doorway of your life with something you never expected. A breakthrough, a response, a miracle that will turn your sorrow into rejoicing and your silence into a song of praise. Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Ephesians 3:20. Don't let yesterday's disappointments bury today's faith. Don't allow past unanswered prayers to hinder what God is currently preparing. Dust off those weary prayers. Breathe fresh hope into your faith. Gather His shattered promise and lay it once again upon the altar. God isn't finished. He's just beginning. He doesn't demand flawless faith, only hearts that are willing. He doesn't respond to our strength, but to our surrender. So, I urge you, my friends, to step forward from this moment, not with uncertainty, but with destiny. Don't carry fear, carry fire. Don't waste another day chasing illusions when the true light of the world is standing right before you. Don't shrink your faith to fit your current view. Lift your perspective to align with who God is. Raise your hands, raise your voice, raise your life, and boldly declare, "Lord, I believe. I may not have all the answers, but I trust you. I give you everything I have. I make space for the miraculous." And when it comes, and it surely will, you won't just witness God's power. You will embody His glory. You won't simply be someone who received a miracle. You will be someone transformed by a holy encounter with the living God. You will be the living proof of what it looks like to trust Him. Trust Him, follow Him, and believe Him. For when God moves, no power on earth or in hell can stop the miracle He has prepared for your life.